Hello everyone. As I promised you that I would post for you a video in which I sum up the main points that we touched upon last week. In fact, I decided to make them in three short videos in order to make it easier for you to download and watch. The first video is talking about the optional and obligatory sentence elements. If you remember, we said the first element that can be optional and obligatory in the sentence in the structure of the sentence is the adverb of place. We have seen that the adverb of place is an essential element to the structure and meaning of the sentence in two patterns. They are patterns number 1 and pattern number 4. So, for example, if we say, I put the kettle on the stove, let us examine the structure or the pattern of this sentence. It starts with I as the subject, put as the verb, the kettle, put what? Put the kettle. So the kettle here is the direct object. Then we have on the stove as an adverb of a place. In order to identify the pattern of the sentence and the type of the verb we have in the sentence, we have to first of all say or decide whether the adverb of a place on the stove is an obligatory element in the sentence or optional. So how can we do that? We can do that simply by doing a simple test, which is that we try to delete this element from the sentence and see the meaning of the sentence after deleting it. If it is still complete, if it is still meaningful, so this means that the adverb of place that we deleted was optional. But if the meaning of the sentence has been affected by this deletion, the sentence becomes meaningless, this means that the adverb of place is obligatory and should be written back again to the sentence or got back again to the sentence. So if we say, let us not do that with this sentence, I put the kettle on the stove. Let us say our sentence without on the stove and see what will happen. So I put the kettle. This is the sentence that I will have after deleting on the stove. What do you think of it? Is it meaningful? Of course not. You have to complete the idea of your sentence by saying where did you put it? Where's the exact place of the kettle now? So this means that on the stove is an essential element in the structure of the sentence and in the meaning of the sentence. It cannot be deleted. That's why we are going to say that the important element in the sentence that we need them here are what? I as a subject, put as what? A complex transitive verb. And why is it now complex transitive? Because it is followed by the kettle as direct object and on the stove as what? As adverb of place that complements the meaning of the direct object. This is, if you as you remember, this sentence belongs to pattern number 4. Let us examine another sentence and do the same to find out its pattern. The boy ate the apple in the kitchen. Again, we say the boy is the subject, ate is the verb, the apple is the object, and the kitchen is another adverb of a place. So, which pattern do we have here? Is it also pattern number 4? This is decided according by whether the adverb of a place is obligatory or optional. Let us try to delete in the kitchen from the sentence. So the boy ate the apple. The apple can be can stand alone by themselves without the need to what to say the place of doing the action. So this means that in the kitchen is an optional adverb of a place, and the important elements that we need in the sentence are only the boy as the subject, ate as the monotransitive verb, and the apple is what? As a direct object, while the adverb of place we are going to put it between two brackets to say that it is optional. So this sentence belongs to what? Pattern number 3. What about other types of adverbs? I believe that you know that in English we have different types of adverbs, and they are not adverbs in English are not limited only to adverbs of a place. So what if we find a sentence with other types of adverbs, adverbs of manner, adverbs of duration, adverbs of time? How can we identify the pattern of such sentences? Again, we have to identify the main elements that we need them to be in the sentence. And when we come to the adverb, we are going to see whether it is optional or obligatory. If we examine to this sentence, she treated him kindly. She is a subject, treated as a verb. Since it is followed by only one object, so we are going to call this monotransitive verb. Him is the direct object, and kindly is an adverb. So it is not an adverb of place, it is an adverb of manner, but we have to decide whether it is what an adverb, optional or obligatory. Are we going to put, when we represent it by the capital letter, are we going to put it between two brackets or not? So let us try again to do the same test we did last time with the other previous sentences, and see whether they are this adverb kindly is obligatory or optional. If we delete kindly from the sentence, what is left for us is only she treated him. Again, this is not a complete sentence. There's no complete idea. We have to add something that tells us how she treated him. So this means that kindly as an adverb of manner is an obligatory element, and when we are going to represent it with capital A, we should not put it between two brackets to say that this is an obligatory adverb. The last thing we need to know about adverbs of a place is that adverbs of a place can be also they are essential to the pattern of to the structure of the sentence and meaning of the sentence, especially in pattern number 1 and patterns number 1 and 4, but they may not be real. They can be called metaphorical adverbs of a place, similar in a way that they are similar to the adverbs of a place, but they do not refer to real places. Also, they can be similar to the adverb of a place in form, because they are going to appear for us or in the sentence in the form of a prepositional phrase. And we said that one of the forms in which we can find the adverbs of a place is what? A prepositional phrase. For example, these two sentences, we are in a bit of a mess and we kept him off cigarettes. These two sentences, the first one, in these two sentences, we have the adverb of a place, or we have an element appearing after the verb in the first sentence and after the direct object in the second sentence, in the form of a prepositional phrase. They are essential. If we try to delete them from the sentence, our sentences will be meaningless. So they are essential to the structure and meaning of the sentence. They cannot be deleted. But are they a real adverbs of a place? No, we call them here metaphorical adverbs of the metaphorical adverbs of a place, because they are somehow similar to the adverbs of a place, and they are similar in what? In form, because both of them appear for us in a form of a prepositional phrase. Uh, this is about the adverbs of a place. What about other elements? Can we find other elements in the sentence that can be optional and obligatory? In fact, yes. We talked about the direct object and the object complement. We said that, for example, the direct object can be found in patterns number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. But is there a case in which we can also say that the direct object can be optional and obligatory? Yes, if we are dealing with verbs that can change their behavior in English or in the language in general. For example, if we have verbs that can behave as transitive and intransitive at the same time. For example, if we examine this sentence, he is eating. In this sentence, we have a complete idea of a simple sentence consisting of only two elements, he as a subject and is eating as a verb. So the verb eat is a verb of action, yet it does not need an object to complete its meaning. So we say that this is an intransitive verb, and the sentence he is eating belongs to pattern number 7. Yet I can expand my sentence by adding more information to it, by adding an element that tells my listener about the thing that he was eating. So I can say he's eating an apple. Here I'm adding another element to the sentence, which is what? The direct object. And when I am doing this, I am changing the type of my verb from intransitive to transitive. And I am changing my pattern, the sentence pattern, from pattern number 7 to pattern number 3. This means when I can add another element to the sentence, still this element can be also be deleted. And the same way it is added, it can also be deleted, and we can get the sentence back to its original form. So this tells an idea that the direct object that we have added, we have added now, can also be deleted. It can be obligatory and optional to the meaning of the sentence. It is optional here with the verb eat, with the verbs that can behave in two different ways, intransitive and intransitive. Okay, but with the verbs that has only one behavior in language, they are only transitive. In the language, they need a direct object to complete their meaning, and here we have to say that the direct object is obligatory. The same thing can be said about the object complement. We have seen the object complement in pattern number 5. For example, when we say he made her career. He made her career. This is a simple sentence consisting of only three elements. He as a subject, made as the verb, and her career as direct object. So because we have only one object, so we said that made is a monotransitive verb, and this sentence belongs to pattern number 3. But I can add more information and by adding another element to the sentence when I say he made her career a success, or he made her career as successful. So here I am adding a new element to the sentence, which can be an object complement, because it complements the meaning of the object. And the new element can appear in the form of a noun phrase, a success, or it can be an adjective, successful. So the point here now, when I'm adding an object complement, I am changing what my verb type from a monotransitive verb into a complex transitive verb. This means also the pattern of the sentence has been changed from pattern number 3 to pattern number 5. The point here is that because this success was not originally found in the sentence, it was added. So this means that it can also be deleted from the sentence without affecting its meaning. This tells us that also the object complement can be optional for some verbs and obligatory for others. The last element that we need to talk about to see whether it can be optional and obligatory is the indirect object. Again, we have to go back to the same type of verbs that can behave in two ways in language. They can be they can be intransitive and transitive. Before we talked about the verb eat, and now also we can see another verb, which is the verb teach. For example, when I say he is teaching, I am here having a sentence with a complete idea, consisting only of the subject he, followed by is teaching as the verb. And you know that teach is a verb of action, but it does not need here an object to complete its meaning. So it is an intransitive verb, and the sentence belongs to pattern number 7. If I say he is teaching English, I am adding a new element to the sentence. I am changing also my verb type from intransitive to monotransitive. Why mono? Because here the verb has taken only one object as a direct object. I am also changing the pattern of the sentence from pattern number 7 to pattern number 3. I can expand my sentence more by adding another element when I say he is teaching the boys English. So he is the subject, is teaching the verb, those boys is the indirect object, and English is the direct object. So I am adding here a new object to the sentence, and since my verb teach has taken two objects, this means that it also has changed its type from monotransitive to ditransitive, so pattern number 6. So this means that, and as we said before, the elements that we have, we can add also, they can be deleted from the sentence without affecting its meaning. This proves for us that with these types of verbs, the verbs that can behave in two ways in language. The direct object and the indirect object can be optional while for the verbs that can behave only in one way, for example, they are only monotransitive, or they are only ditransitive in language, or they are only complex transitive in language, the direct object is what is obligatory. So with here we are we have finished the first video in which I talked about the optional and obligatory elements in sentence pattern, and I believe that you may come to a conclusion that the optional and the obligatory elements can be decided according to whether they are important to the meaning of the sentence or not. Can we delete them from the sentence without destroying the meaning of the sentence or not? Is it clear? Please try to do this test before you decide whether this element that you want to know whether it is optional of obligatory is like that. And thank you.